Hey everybody, ANY1 here. I just want to get out there in front that this episode is non-canon to the rest of ANY Corp. With this out of the way, let's get to the actual topic. My problem with Young Justice Invasion. First things first, I love Young Justice, and I totally recommend it to everybody who likes superhero shows. This run is rich of great and interesting characters, tense storylines, exciting action scenes and hilarious jokes. All this is topped off by high quality animations. This show is my reason to look forward to the weekend every week. This and Legend of Korra, another great show, check it out. For those of you who haven't seen Young Justice yet, don't worry, I'll keep this video more or less spoiler free in regards to character development and the main plot. So, what exactly is my problem with Young Justice Invasion? Those who have seen the show can already guess it. The time leap. Invasion takes place 5 years after the original series. By the way, this is not really a spoiler. They tell you the right at the beginning of Invasion. I guess I get the idea behind this time leap, quickly moving on with the overall plot and the chance to rapidly extend the cast. But this is exactly what bothers me. In the first season, they took their time for the introduction of new characters, character development and the progression in the main plot. Also, Invasion in itself seems to continue this tradition so far. The time leak ignores these three rules. Let me elaborate. The first season started off with only 3 main characters, Kid Flash, Robin and Aqualad. In the course of the opening 2-parter, they are, along with the viewer, introduced to Superboy, who eventually teams up with them. At the very end of this 2-parter, Miss Martian also joins the team. This felt a little bit squeezed in at the time, but it was okay, because they dedicated the whole next episode to her integration into the team. And this very careful way of handling new characters was continued throughout the season. What about Invasion? Within the first 5 minutes, we are confronted with not less than 8 new team members. I have watched Batman the Animated Series, The Batman, Teen Titans, JLU and all episodes of Atop the Fourth Wall. So I was able to handle the amount of new characters, because I already knew them from different media. But I don't want to imagine how somebody feels for whom Young Justice is his or her first DC series. And naturally, this concentrated introduction of new guys and gals left most of them pretty underdeveloped personality-wise, at least for now. That brings me to the character development. From the moment of their introduction to the end of the first season, we, as the viewers, experienced everything the team experiences. Maybe some of them have secrets, but we are there to witness the moments when their backstories catches up with them. It could happen that a weird character trait that felt out of place the whole time suddenly turns out to be a hint for something much deeper. Last but not least, the relationships between all the characters and the development is also carved out very nicely. And suddenly, 5 years later. And it's not like nothing happened in between. A freaking lot happened. Couples broke up while new ones were formed off screen, characters died, some team members quit, others got promoted into the league, which was a big issue in the first season. And wrapping up all these events leads to subtle exposition dialogues like this one.
Well then talk. I live light years away, so you'll never see me again. Makes me the perfect confidant.
Finally, the overall plot. Okay. At first I thought, well, they probably only did this whole 5 years later thing because there was no progress in the main plot, because the events set in motion in the first season need 5 years to resurface, which is true for the big events in the second season. But then I had to find out that there have been major events which were skipped over by the time leap. Sorry folks, I can't avoid talking about the events in the second season anymore. For those who haven't seen the episode Alienated yet, for as long as I'm talking spoilers, I'll put this symbol in the corner of the screen. So you can mute this video until the symbol is gone. Alternatively, just skip 30 seconds ahead. Okay, let me recap. There was a big mission including the team that led to Tula's death, who apparently happened to be part of the team at the time. Aqualad found out that Black Manta is his father and hence switched sides. And by the way, Ocean Master got kicked off the light. And again, we get all this information through unnatural and forced dialogue. What the fuck? Sorry, this just had to get out. But seriously, there happened some intense and important events, but instead of showing them, we get fobbed off with exposition. Again, I love this series and I will continue watching it for sure, but I am still wondering if the time leap was a good decision. One great narrative tool used throughout the first season was to build up and eventually reveal information that refer to events that took place before the series. My guess is they used the time leap to try to create new unknown background stories they could reveal throughout the show. But they screwed it up. First, there is so much they skipped over, they have problems to wrap it all up again. It feels kind of rushed. The stunning twists that were created by the time leap just get thrown in our faces, one after another, most of the time without any build-up at all. This is really sad, because the team behind this show managed to pull off such great twists. They took their time leading to an upcoming one, while giving a lot of small, more or less subtle hints. That gave the first season a great rewatch value. Second, in the first season it worked, because this season was about the actual beginning of Young Justice, and the characters' background were not just unknown to the viewer, but to the other characters as well. In Invasion, the viewer is the only one who missed out on the events. This leads to the viewer feeling alienated from the other characters, rather than identifying with them. All things considered, in my opinion they should have made one more season before Invasion. The material is out there and they hardly find the time to present it while all the new storylines emerge. In an extra season they could have shown us instead of telling. I know, a time leap is a popular tool used to freshen up otherwise stuck stories. Famous examples, the time leap between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, or between Naruto and Shippuden. Anyways, in the time leap the characters were just out training and maturing. Nothing big happened, at least nothing regarding to the main characters. But in Young Justice so much happened. The time leap is a totally missed opportunity. Well, there's not much we can do about it now. The series is still a lot of fun to watch and I hope that the decision to jump 5 years ahead pays off in the long run. If you want to see a greatly used time leap, check out the before mentioned Legend of Korra. It is a follow-up to the series Avatar: The Last Airbender and takes place 70 years later. This setup is used to introduce a completely new cast, as well as serious changes in the society and the world as a whole. So, I hope you enjoyed my first series review-like video. I would like to know your thoughts about it. And don't worry, Boss's reviews will also continue. So, see you soon folks!